Now, Richard, before I let you go, lastly, I wanted to get your thoughts on, we have Eddie Hearn coming over to the States and making some noise, trying to get his project started over here with the $1 billion, amount. What are your thoughts? What do you make of everything that he's saying about bringing the fights over here and potentially, trying to get some of the fighters that you guys have?
Well, it's a platform without subscribers, and it's a promoter without fighters. Well, actually, I have to correct that. $1 billion Eddie doesn't seem to look like $1 billion Eddie right now, because he signed 2 guys so far. One of them is Gabriel Rosado, and the other one is Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. If he believes with these kind of fighters, he can break into the U.S. market, and I don't mean that in no respect to Rosado and Chavez. I think both of them had their time, and both of them were great fighters at one point, and I always respect any fighter who goes through these ropes, and fighters do know that. But for Eddie to build up a platform, it's not going to be so easy. And it's not just about money, because believe it or not, even in boxing, there is such thing as loyalty. And some fighters might be loyal to their managers or advisors or their networks. And they're not just going to go because suddenly somebody waves a big check in their face. So it's going to be interesting to see. And many of those fighters are very smart outside of the ring, and they realize, especially if they are as talented as some of the names Eddie is mentioning, these are fighters which are on the cusp of becoming pay-per-view attraction. And Eddie publicly stated that there will be no pay-per-view on his platform. It's a license fee. It's a license fee business. So basically, a fighter will be capped on how much he can make based on the budget. How much do you think Floyd Mayweather would have made if he would have been capped to that kind of budget? He would have never made $100, $200, $300, $500 million in his last fight. He would have never become the highest paid athlete in the world, irrespective of sport, consecutive years in a row. So we here in the United States believe that the sky is the limit, and a fighter who goes through those ropes and risks his life should be allowed and should be able to make as much as he can, and pay-per-view is the tool and the instrument to empower these fighters. So for a new promoter to enter the U.S. market and boldly proclaim that he doesn't believe in the pay-per-view system, that the U.S. pay-per-view system is flawed, I don't think that's the way I would have entered the U.S. market, because I believe in empowering the fighters.
Well, thank you very much for your words. We appreciate it every time. And we cannot wait for June 9th, Leo Santa Cruz versus Abner Mares, and of course, Gilberto Charlo versus Austin Trout. Thank you so much. We can't wait.
Thank you so much, Adrian. Thank you.